Hey, welcome back to Mr. Rockenstein's Flipped Classroom. Today we're going to be working on a lesson and we're going to try to answer this question, what is division? It's a pretty important question because if you don't really know what it is you're doing when you do division, it makes doing more complicated division problems really difficult. So we really want to talk about what is division today. We've got three goals. First is you will be able to explain what division is. That's answering that first question. Two, you will be able to use fact families to solve division problems. And three, you will be able to use the following terms to discuss division problems. And those terms are divisor, dividend, and quotient. All right, so to start off, I want to do a problem with you. And the problem is right here. It starts with how many bags can he fill? So Mr. Rockenstein is making bags of Halloween candy. He wants to put 3 mini Snickers in each bag. He has 18 mini Snickers. How many bags can he fill? So I want you right now to pause the video and then work on this problem, and then when you're finished, come back and we'll talk about it. So pause right now. All right, so you've got an answer, and what you might have done is something like this. 18, which is how many Snickers I had, divided by 3. That's how many I wanted to put in each bag, and that ends up equaling 6. And so our answer is 6 bags. And as you can see by my sign, what we just did was a division problem. And so let's go ahead and answer that first question. What is division? Division is breaking one big group into a certain number of smaller groups. So here are my 18 Snickers. I wanted to break them into groups of 3. I wanted to know how many groups of 3 I could break them into. So I had 18 Snickers. I was going to divide them into groups of 3. Those are my smaller groups. How many groups can I make? Well, let's make groups of 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And so on. We'll see how many groups I can make. So I've got groups of 3 here, and I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I took a large group of 18 Snickers. I made them into smaller groups, and I made my smaller groups of 3, and I was able to make 6 smaller groups. And so that right there is what division is. It's taking a big group and breaking it into a certain number of smaller groups. Now I want to go back to that problem. When I did this problem, the way I actually figured it out was I first thought of a multiplication problem. I thought to myself that I know that 6 times 3 equals 18. And so when I was thinking about the problem, I thought, well, if I'm going to put 3 in each bag and I have 18, I know that my answer is going to be 6 because 6 times 3 is 18. And that's where we get into these fact families. If you know your fact family, then a lot of division problems become pretty easy. I knew 6 times 3 equals 18, and that means I also know the turnaround fact, 3 times 6 equals 18. Now I also know then that if I take 18 and I break it into 3 groups, it's going to equal 6 because 3 times 6 equals 18. So 3 in each group, 6 of those groups, 18. The big number 18 divided into 3 groups is going to equal 6. I also know another division problem. I know 18 divided by 6 is going to equal 3. And this right here is fact family. Let's do another fact family. And let's start it off with this one. 4 times 6 equals 24. So what I want you to do now is I want you to pause the video and I want you to finish this fact family. You've got the starter and you're going to have 3 more facts. You're going to have 1 more multiplication fact and 2 division facts. So pause the video, figure out what those are going to be. Okay, so let's check it out. Our other multiplication fact is just going to be that turnaround fact. 6 times 4 equals 24. Division facts, and they can be in either order. It doesn't matter. Are going to be 24 divided by 6 equals 4, and 24 divided by 4 equals 6. And like I said, it doesn't matter if you have 24 divided by 6 equals 4 first, or 24 divided by 4 equals 6. So that's another fact family. All right, so now that you know how to use fact families to help you figure out division problems, let's go ahead and try to work on that last goal that we had, which was to use these terms: divisor, dividend, and quotient. And these are all the different parts of a division problem. So here's that original problem we were working with. 18 divided by 3 equals 6. And just a reminder, order really does matter, because in a division problem, you can't switch these back and forth. 3 divided by 18 would not equal 6. That would be taking 3 and dividing it into 18 groups. And we're going to be working with some problems like that later on, but not today. So first, I want to take this number sentence and put it into our division sign, because this is really, when we do the work of division, we put it into this form. We can't do our work when the problem is in this form. And so what we do is we put the 3 out here. The 3 is really the number that's doing the work. We're finding out how many 3's are in the number 18. How many of these are in the number 18? So this is our big group and this is our small group. We want to know how many of these fit into here. And we've already figured out that that number is 6. Now we need to put these words in here. The divisor is that 3. It's the number doing the work. I always like to think of the divisor as a giant sword. And that giant sword is chopping up this number inside. You want to know how many pieces you can chop it into. So the divisor I always think of as a sword. The dividend is that number inside here. It's the one that's getting chopped up into different groups. And then the quotient is another word for our answer in a division problem. So always think of the divisor as a sword. It's the one doing the cutting. And think of the dividend as the one that's getting cut up. And the quotient is your answer. Now, if it helps you, I can put these words up into this problem right here. Quotient. Whoop. Dividend, that's the one getting cut up. And divisor, that's the one doing the cutting. Don't forget, the divisor is a sword. Wah! Chopping up the dividend. All right, so I think we've hit all of our goals. You know what division is. It's when you take a big group and you break it into a certain number of smaller groups. You know how to use fact families that help you turn your multiplication facts into division facts. And you know how to use these terms: dividend, divisor, and quotient. So we'll talk more about all of this in class, Remember to write down any questions you have, and I hope you've been taking good notes. See you tomorrow. Also, don't forget that if there was something in this video that you didn't understand, go back, watch it again. You can always rewind, pause, fast forward, go back and get that information that you need. All right, that's it.